Sony is busy playing checkers while Microsoft is playing chess. Yes, they're in it for the long game, and I want to talk about it. Hello and welcome back to Gears and Tech. If you've heard the news lately, Microsoft is buying up major gaming studios and turning them into first-party studios for the Xbox gaming system. That is not new news. So yes, with the recent acquisition of Activision Blizzard, Microsoft seems to have a stranglehold on the gaming industry, and it has a lot of PlayStation fans a little bit worried. So much, in fact, Sony reached out to the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, and had a discussion over the phone, which Phil Spencer tweeted about recently saying, "Had a good call this week with leaders at Sony. I confirmed our intent to honor all existing agreements upon acquisition of Activision Blizzard and our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. Sony is an important part of our industry and we value our relationship." Now let's be clear, the relationship of two companies who have the same product in the same market is not much of a relationship. Similar to the relationship that a shark has with those little fish that you see hanging on to their fin as they swim around. So long as the shark doesn't mind that the fish is there, then the fish is happy. And that's kind of what's starting to play out with the console manufacturers, because Microsoft has just been scooping up anything and everything. Part of that is because they have the advantage of multiple platforms and IPs across multiple different offerings to pull resources from. They are not restricted strictly to game consoles to generate revenue, so much as like Nintendo would be. Nintendo, of course, has other IPs, but largely they are a console and gaming company, and that's it. Sony, on the other hand, does have a bit deeper pockets because they have other industries as well. However, I've always considered the PlayStation brand to be separate from Sony, partly because I hate Sony, but I do like my PlayStation. It's a complicated dynamic. Before we get too far into this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel down below. If you've seen some of our content already and have not subscribed, we want you to join our community. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's get back to the video. So what game studios do Microsoft own? Well, let's cover some of the higher profile ones. Obviously, Activision is the most recent acquisition. However, Rare, which is best known for games like GoldenEye 007, Perfect Dark, Banjo and Kazooie, the Coalition, who makes Gears of War, the guys behind Minecraft. Yeah, Microsoft caught on to that early on. They said, hey, we need to own that, so they bought them, and they've made a ton of money having Minecraft released on pretty much anything that has a processor. Obsidian Entertainment, which is best known for Star Wars, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Neverwinter Nights 2, Fallout, South Park, The Stick of the Truth. Some other companies that Microsoft has tried to buy unsuccessfully, Discord and Square Enix. Both companies saying, we're not for sale. It must be nice to be able to say, yeah, we're just not for sale. But that's not the point of this video. In the beginning, you heard me say, Microsoft is playing chess, Sony's playing checkers. And I'm sure you're wondering, what the heck do I mean by that? Well, I want to go back to the tweet from Phil Spencer. So he said, I talked to Sony and I said, you know what? Don't worry, we're still gonna release Call of Duty games on the PlayStation. That's because PlayStation has largely enjoyed huge success because of the Call of Duty franchise. Now, it would be a very Xbox thing to do to say, well, we own the studio and we're not going to release on you. Or to flip it the other way around, where day one release is Xbox only and then 30 days later is PlayStation, which has been how it's been for Xbox owners over the generations. So why would Microsoft, Xbox, say, no, don't worry about it. We're going to still honor that. We're okay. And I'm going to tell you why. And that is because Microsoft has been playing a long game that has not come to fruition yet, but they are on the path to that. And that's because the strategy or the end goal for Microsoft is not consoles and game sales. It's not. Microsoft has been quietly shifting to a subscription-based model. Now, I know many of you have heard the terms Game Pass before. Game Pass came out in 2017, and originally it was only first-party games or old games that nobody wanted anymore that Microsoft was making available. They knew that nobody was going to pay $10 a month for a service that had old games that nobody really cared about anymore. They wanted to get more games on there. And that's what's largely driving the acquisition of these companies. See, they don't care if you go to the store and buy a copy of Call of Duty to play on your PlayStation 5. They don't care. They actually do not want you to go and buy a copy of Call of Duty for your Xbox, because that's not their plan. Yes, they will happily take your money right now because that is the business model that we are used to. However, they observed the massive success of streaming services such as Netflix, such as Spotify, and Microsoft wants a piece of that pie because they realize that $10 a month from every single customer forever is worth a whole lot more than one $700 console and potentially only 3 major release titles per year. See, streaming services like Netflix have actually been around for a long time. Netflix started in 1997. Many of you watching this video were just barely alive then. I was just finishing high school and I didn't even know what the internet was. Well, I knew what the internet was, but I hadn't even used it yet. So Netflix is trying to pioneer this new technology and work on a subscription-based model. And it wasn't until last year that Netflix announced that it was going to stop borrowing money and was able to sustain its own cost from revenue. So if we count the entire run, that's like 25 years that it took for them to get to the point where they could sustain themselves. Over the course of that time, they borrowed over $16 billion. And that's billion with a B. So it was nice that they had good enough credit that they could go and borrow the money. And Microsoft is looking to do the same thing with streaming video game service. So today, Game Pass is not sustaining their marketing model on its own. That's why they're happy to sell you a copy of the latest Call of Duty to play on their system, because every penny does help for them to continue making money so they can eventually get where they want to go. We will consider that Microsoft's side hustle because their main hustle is Game Pass. And for Game Pass to succeed, they need to have interesting games ready as day one releases. Since developers are not interested in day one releases of their premium flagship models, the only way to get those onto Game Pass is to own the studio. And that's why Microsoft is going so nuts buying all these studios. That lets them get access to the games that people actually want to play. They can release them day one on Game Pass and it becomes excellent value. At just over $10 a month, that's equal to about $120, $130 a year. That is about 1.5 games per person if every single person were to either get Game Pass or buy a game. Well, most people do not buy more than 1 game a year. But if they can make the value seem just right, then the people who are only consuming 1 game a year will actually pay more money to have access to more games, even though they would have never ever bought those games on their own. So on the surface, it seems like a bad idea because now I got hundreds of games that I can access when really I would have only bought 1 if I had to go and pay for it. However, just like Netflix, who can now just make whatever movie they want, they were able to afford Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson for a Netflix original movie. That's expensive. And then they had to make the movie. And then they threw in Gal Gadot and Ryan Reynolds, who also were expensive. So they have the money now. They did not have the money before. And just like before, Netflix sucked. Netflix did not have any shows you wanted to watch. In fact, I can remember in 2005 when I tried to cancel my cable and just use Netflix, and it didn't work. My children actually consumed all of Netflix. Like, we had watched everything that Netflix had to offer and ran out of shows to watch back then. Now it is impossible to consume all of Netflix. It's like trying to consume the entire internet. It's impossible. However, it takes a long time to get there, and Microsoft is in the very early stages of that. And that's what I mean when I say they're playing chess. Checkers is over so quickly, and Sony's busy just hopping over pieces saying, haha, we're winning, when really they're losing and they don't even know it yet. And this is my call out for Sony. I want Sony to do good. I enjoy my PlayStation 5. If Sony doesn't switch up their model and start trying to play catch up, they will get caught behind. And eventually, Microsoft will have the corner on the market to the point that nobody even worries about buying a PlayStation 5 because it doesn't have Game Pass and it doesn't have the library. At some point, Game Pass will be the de facto formula for gaming. In fact, the current version of Game Pass gives you access to PC and console gaming, and it allows you to stream, essentially cloud stream your game to other handheld devices and such, which, in my opinion, this console generation is probably the last physical console that we will have to buy. Cloud gaming will be a full reality by the time we get to the end of this console generation. This is why Microsoft says, you know what, we don't care. We will release your stupid games on your stupid system because that's not where the money will be made in the future, and it just gives us more money. If you buy a copy of Call of Duty for your PlayStation 5, then it will give money back to Microsoft. It's the same reason why when Microsoft got sued for patent infringement on the force feedback for their Xbox controllers, instead of trying to fight them in court, they just bought the company. And now every single PlayStation controller sold up to the PlayStation 4, royalties are paid from Sony to Microsoft for every single controller. It's also partly why Sony came out with the DualSense, because haptic feedback is not the same as the vibration feedback, so no more royalties are due. We can get into royalty law all day, so I don't want to get too complicated with all of that. But Microsoft is absolutely playing a strategic game where they're happy to look like they're losing for now, because at some point they will look like a clear winner and it will be impossible for Sony to catch them. At least not without a major financial commitment, which most companies are very afraid to do. Look at Amazon. Amazon was a crap company all along until recently, and now all of a sudden everyone's like, holy crap, who's gonna stop Amazon? Jeff Bezos is an evil billionaire. We can't have this. How did this happen? Well, he snuck up slowly from behind when no one was paying attention, and then boom, all of a sudden he's a rock star. Xbox is trying to do the same thing. I'm on to you guys, and I'm gonna blow up your strategy because maybe someone from Sony's watching this video. They probably aren't, but someone at Sony, if you're watching this video, call me. I have some ideas, all right? I'll help you out. It'll be cheap, so inexpensive. I'll do it for like $10 million. For $10 million, I will show you guys the way out. I'll tell you the path to success. All right, otherwise, stick with the old dinosaur model. It'll work for this generation, and you will be #winning. Does that date me? #winning? I think that's like more than 10 years old now. Anyway, they are #winning right now, not for long. It's gonna end this console, and we're all gonna be playing Xbox, and I'm really sad about it, but the writing's on the wall, and you still have time right now to fix it. But whatever your new offering with PS Now is, it's not gonna work. It's not right. You've screwed up. You need to course correct and fix this. But at least you can have your Call of Duty on the PlayStation 5 because Phil Spencer says you can, for now, but just for now. Hey, thanks for watching all the way to the end of this video. We hope you enjoy the content in this video, and we'd love to have you come back. Consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't already. And for those subscribers who are looking for that extra special thing that you can do to support this channel, consider joining our members group. That's where we're building this community, the Gears and Tech community, where we can all enjoy content together. you'll get special perks, which we'd love for you to check out by clicking the link down below. For those of you who are just happy to watch the video, that's okay too. You can check out some of our other content right over here, where we've got some previous videos that have already been uploaded and enjoyed by many of our viewers already. We do hope to see you again. This has been Gears and Tech. Have a great day.